Morning, all. All right, starting things off with a news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Sunday, October the 20th. And we've got a bit of a break in the rain. The torrential downpour is supposed to start again in a few hours. If you've seen the footage on the news of the flooding, don't worry, it's not near me at this point, and it shouldn't be. So it shouldn't be a concern. All right, Linus Ullmark starting at the top of the board here. So it sounds like he'll be joining the team and playing on this upcoming road trip, which starts on Tuesday in Utah. Sogard being sent down to the AHL in a corresponding move here. It definitely looks like Linus Ullmark's going to get some starts soon. The good news for Ottawa is that they were victorious without Ullmark. They overcame any defensive and goaltending issues they had with Ullmark out by outscoring their problems, which you can't really rely on all the time, but when it works, it feels kind of nice to be able to do that. So a little bit of a reason for optimism, I think, around the Ottawa Senators right now. We'll see if that sticks around or if it lasts. Tyler Myers reaches 1,000 games in last night's contest against the Philadelphia Flyers. I think it's great that he's still a member of the Vancouver Canucks. I think that he's a good defenseman. I mean, third pairing would probably be the best place for him. And I say that, but yeah, he's been good this year. And with the extension being a far more reasonable cap hit, Myers has definitely moved up in terms of popularity amongst Canucks players locally. 1,000 games for him. Kudos to him. I would imagine when the Canucks come home, they'll do some kind of a ceremony. Bring out the silver stick that players get at their set for their 1,000th game. And should be kind of nice. So the award show, I think we can all agree that the award show this past year from the National Hockey League was not great. And we have watched a lot of award shows as a channel over the years, and they're not good. And so, I think the NHL's now the way they put it on Sportsnet was, they have the draft and Stanley Cup and free agency all around each other, and the award show kind of gets lost in the mix. I don't think that's it. Personally, I think it's just that the award show isn't good. And it's got to be tough to get players to, they've just gone on vacation. All right, come in for an award show, and they probably don't really feel like it. So they may move away from a centralized award show and award them instead as the playoffs get rolling. Elliot Friedman saying one thing they were considering was, let's say Quinn Hughes wins the Norris Trophy. You could have a ceremony at Rogers where you have fans in attendance to congratulate him on winning the Norris Trophy. I would imagine you wouldn't have to pay for the tickets for that. At least I would think you wouldn't have to pay for the tickets for that. But this is the kind of thing the NHL's thinking about and doing like an award ceremony on a team-by-team basis kind of thing, and not bothering with an actual award show at the end of the year, which, again, I think that would be the right move. Whatever prevents us from the cringe comedy that we've had to deal with on multiple occasions now with hockey award shows, it's not good. And so when the National Hockey League, who apparently, took in over $6 billion in revenue last year, and you watch the award show and you think, man, I think a youth group in a church could probably come up with a really good show that would be more entertaining. It's not necessarily fantastic. So we'll see what the NHL decides to do, but whatever moves away from the product they've had with award shows, the faster they do that, I think, the better. So getting into contract extension talks, the Florida Panthers, according to Elliot Friedman, have started extension talks with Sam Bennett. Bennett, of course, a big part of that Stanley Cup win and seen as a valuable young forward. We'll see what his cap hit ends up looking like should he sign that extension. I would think that it'll end up being a team-friendly deal, because that seems to be the case with the Panthers these days, which, again, when they were losing, nobody seemed to care as much about, but now that they're winning, people are kind of ticked off about the whole taxes thing. But either way, Bennett could very well be signing an extension with the Florida Panthers soon. The Montreal Canadiens planning to go and see Demidov. Apparently this takes quite some planning because, traveling to that part of the world right now does take some planning. Demidov, of course, the conversation piece around him has been ice time. And that, he's not getting as much ice time as fans would like to see him get. The reality is that in the KHL, young players very often play less minutes. But it is interesting, too, because we see that at the NHL level. We see NHL players who come in at 18, 19. They're playing on fourth lines. They're, healthy scratch here and there. And we get the same complaint at that point, too. I understand why coaches do that. I understand the unpredictability of young players and rookies can be frustrating, especially when you have to win those games. You're not there to cultivate these young players. You're there to win. And if you don't win, well, yeah, the young player might be better in the long term, but you're out of a job. So at any rate, we'll see how things go with this visit to see Demidov. Of course, Montreal fans excited to see him come over and play for the Habs sooner rather than later. Jonathan Drouin has been placed on IR by the Colorado Avalanche. They've recalled Chris Wagner. Wagner can play fourth line minutes, absolutely. So, good move for Colorado, and it'll help them to have Wagner up as well. Max Pacioretty, of course, signed to a contract by the Toronto Maple Leafs just before the season got started. Has been scratched for the second straight game. I'm not entirely surprised by this, though. Like, Pacioretty had a good preseason. I think he can still play in the NHL. But for Toronto, they have this vision for their four lines and all that. And so if Pacioretty doesn't quite fit into that, or if they don't feel like he's playing the way they want him to, he's going to end up being a healthy scratch. So we'll see how many games Pacioretty gets scratched for. My guess is this is just going to be the way the season goes. I could see him playing about 40 games this year. And so, yeah, we'll see how Toronto handles things from here. And again, as a player gets older, it happens. I don't think that it's something that... And I mean, Pacioretty's saying all the right things right now about, being out and maintaining a positive mindset. I don't see any reason to think that he's not going to have a positive mindset about this. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think Pacioretty should be in the lineup for Toronto, or do you think they're fine without him? Coming out of that game last night against the Rangers, I'm going to guess Pacioretty goes in for the next game because, yeah, that was tough. The next game, of course, is against Tampa, so maybe you throw Pacioretty in there. I don't know who you scratch, but coming out of that loss against the New York Rangers, I'm sure there are some candidates for that. Although we can acknowledge Igor stole that game last night, right? Right? Anyway. Anthony Duclair, lower body injury. He left last night's game against the Habs. I did look into it before starting this video. His return time is unknown. It sounds like it's something that could keep him out for the foreseeable future. And for a New York Islanders team that clearly Duclair fits in really well with, that is a blow to their attack for sure. So we'll probably know over the next couple of days how long Duclair is going to be out, but it doesn't sound like it's only going to be a week or two. I wanted to talk just at the end. I wanted to touch on this because there does seem to be some misunderstanding in terms of which jerseys I wear for review videos. I stopped wearing the jersey of a team that won for a review video because it has been the topic of conversation in the comment section way too much over the years. And I have talked for years about not wanting that to be the central theme. The other option that I have is to just have a set of jerseys that I wear for review videos, and those would be just the generic Hockey Guy jerseys with the Hockey Guy hat. I may do that at some point too, and just stick with those. The reason being that, and again, I've seen people saying, "Oh, it's just trolls." It wasn't trolls. It's like somebody pointing something out isn't necessarily a troll. And so whether it was people saying you never wear this team, whether it was people saying you wear this team too much, or, well, you wore this team instead of this team, I think this game was more important. So it was a topic almost every single day. Now it's just, to me, kind of interesting because when I see some of these posts like, oh, he needs to go back to the other ones and just stop listening to people in the comment section. Irony. It's absolute irony. So I do enjoy doing the review videos the way I'm doing them now. And I know for a lot of people watching this, you may not care. You may even leave that in the comment section. You don't care. I can wear whatever I want. Who cares? And that's been the way I've thought about it. I was actually talking to a friend of mine about it last night. She thought it was hilarious that people care what shirt I wear for a video. Because I've never turned on a YouTube video and gone, I'm not going to like this video. Look what shirt the guy's wearing. So it's bizarre. It's weird, and it's been weird to me for years. So, yeah, I just felt like as long as I'm not, like, last night, sure, I could have worn a Rangers jersey, and then I would have had, well, why aren't you wearing Vancouver? Oh, he's not a real Canucks fan because he's not wearing Vancouver. Oh, he should be wearing Washington. That was a huge win for them. And it's just, anyways. So I'm happy to have that conversation gone by the wayside. So there you go. I just wanted to throw that out there. It's not trolls that stop me from wearing. It's me. I made that decision and I'm sticking to it. I have my own opinions. I stick to them. It's just interesting too, though, because there's always he's so stubborn and he gives in so easily. Well, it can't be both. So entertaining though. Thanks for the entertainment. All right, thank you guys so much for all your support as always. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if anybody else hasn't noticed, I wear NHL jerseys in every other video other than the previews. Previews, I also wear whatever variable jerseys. And so, yeah, that throws off the whole. He's wearing this jersey to jinx this team. Oh, he's wearing this team because whatever. So, but there will be a review today where I will wear the jersey of the team that wins, and that'll be for the Pittsburgh Jets game that gets going. Because when it's only one game, I can wear a jersey for the winner because nobody can say, oh, he's playing favorites or why aren't you wearing this or. And again, I don't consider it to be trolling. It's just the comment section should be about the games we watched that night and how the games unfolded and that kind of thing. So, all right, thank you guys so much for all your support as always, though. It is greatly appreciated, and I will talk to you again soon.